Thank you, Jess. And as always, please turn your cameras on if you can. Mic's off unless you're talking. And then if you haven't noticed, Zoom has updated its function. And now if you need to raise your hand, instead of having to go underneath the participants tab like we used to, it is now incorporated under the reactions tab at the bottom of your screen. So just a fun fact for you if you're looking for that function later throughout the meeting. All right. Now, as we begin every meeting, we will start with our invocation. So please at this time, feel free to bow your heads and say this prayer silently or aloud to yourselves along with me. Lord God, we ask you to guide our deliberations this day so that we may use whatever talents we have to serve our fellow students and justify the trust they have placed in us. Amen. And moving on to our spiritual advisor, Linda.
Hello, everyone. Nice to see you. Hopefully your Christmas vacation and your break was good. As Callie said, sometimes I'm sure it was lonely. We are still in quarantine. Tonight, I'd like to share with you something you may have already heard, but I think the words are inspiring, and I think they offer us a task to help us to move forward and something that we can do to look forward. And I will not probably do it as well as the original author did. And I'm giving you clues so that at the end, when I tell you who it is, you're already going to know who this is. But this is the end of a wonderful, inspiring poem. And so we lift our gazes not to what stands between us, but what stands before us. We close the divide because we know to put our future first, we must first put down our differences aside. We lay down our arms so that we can reach out our arms to love one another. I added love. To seek harm to no one and harmony for all. When day comes, we step out of the shade, aflame and unafraid. The new dawn blooms as we free it, for there was always light. If only we're brave enough to see it. If only we're brave enough to be it. So you get a Starbucks gift card if you know who that was. Just kidding. But that was Amanda Gorman, and she's the poet laureate, 22 years old, same age as all of you. An amazing, inspiring young woman with amazing, inspiring words. I think that everything laid aside, we can look to and look forward to a new year, to do things for the university, the campus, and hopefully those words will inspire you to do that.
Thank you, Linda. As soon as you started, I knew who you were talking about, so I appreciate that. That was an excellent poem. And if you haven't heard it, please check it out, the whole thing. It is very inspiring. So moving on to roll call with Jess.
Okay. Tatiana, I believe, is here. I just got a message that Mara is joining, so I know she's not here, but hopefully we'll be soon. Kara Wesolowski?
Yeah, I'm here.
Cool. Hervina Celestin, I didn't see her. Katie Butler?
I'm here.
And Natalie Kleck, I don't believe is here. Emily?
Here.
Cool. Taylor Hopkins?
I'm here.
Bailey Prebish can't make meetings. Jesse Pfaff is, I don't believe, here. Adelina DiTullio. Ashley Burdell?
Here.
Erin Lexner? I thought she was here. Maybe she's here. Away. Yep, there we go. Nathaniel Beckman is excused. Jamie Becker?
I'm here.
Cool. And Ethan Delt?
Here.
Awesome. And that's everyone.
Great. Thanks, Jess. All right. Next, we'll have approval of the minutes. So this was the minutes from the very last meeting we had, which I know was quite some time ago. But if no one has any objections or addendums or amendments to those meeting minutes, At this time, I will take a motion to approve those minutes. Any senator can make that motion.
I'll motion to approve the minutes.
Thank you, Jamie. Do I have a second, Senator?
I second.
Thank you. And now using that raise hand function that we all talked about at the beginning, all those in favor of approving the minute meetings from our last meeting, please raise your hand now. Okay, fantastic. And now all of those opposed to approving the last meeting minutes, please raise your hand now. All right, great. So the meeting minutes will pass and will have been approved. All right, moving on to our executive board reports, starting with Jess.
Sorry, I was typing in the minutes. Not too much to report. The website is finally updated. All the loop bus times, well, actually, I'm working on getting the senators into the website. So they didn't have all the pages for all the Senate schools for some reason. So I'm working on creating those, but there's kind of a lot of red tape. So I'll keep you guys posted on that. But working on getting that there, and then a page for the DII Council. And my training for that is almost done. So hopefully all those will be updated soon and our website will be good to go. And that's pretty much all I have to report.
Okay, thanks, Jess. Next we have Zach with Academic Affairs. He is unable to join us today, but he did send his report to Jess. So I'll turn it back over to Jess.
That is true. Okay, so Zach will be focusing on getting the SGA scholarship together. That hopefully should be done by next week. But that was all he had to report. So
great, short and sweet. I love it. Josh is also unable to join us this evening. But again, he did send his report along to Jess, so she will fill us in on Josh's report as well.
yes, so Josh was approved as the election chair, right? Something like that. So he'll be representing SGA in terms of election. The packet should hopefully be out tonight, and I think we're passing something tonight about the election. But if you have any election question, just email Josh. He's our representative for that. We are waiting on the legal paperwork for the loop bus. It just needs to be signed. We're just waiting to hear back from them. So hopefully we should have the loop bus next week and we can all head down to the strip and the waterfront like we enjoy to. So, and that is the end of Josh's report.
Great, thanks, Jess. All right, now Janelle is here, so she will give her own report for student life. Over to you, Janelle.
Hi, everyone. Couple things. First off, I will be attending a Zoom meeting on the 28th of January, which is regarding planning how you want to incorporate the mental health days, which for those of you who don't know, we will be having mental health days this semester where we won't have classes. Those dates are March 16th and April 14th. So then once I attend that, I will make sure I report back to you guys what we discussed. And then also I will be setting up a sign-up sheet for the virtual expo, which is on February 2nd. So once that's done, make sure you guys look out for that email. It'll probably just be like half an hour slots like we usually do for those types of events. And you guys can get an office hour. And then for the SGA Senate bonding event, I know that Jess was able to send an email for the Google form. I know that there were already 2 people that had responded. I realized that I didn't add a name question. So if you guys wouldn't mind just chatting me if you guys were the ones that had submitted it, just so I can match that. And if you want to say an answer that you had submitted, so I can make sure you are all set for that and everybody else who submits it will be okay now because I just added it before the meeting. And then lastly, I know that there are people who express interest in joining the food service from when Jess put up the social media post about it. So I will be emailing you guys at some point regarding when we want to host our next meeting, which will probably be within the next month or 2 months to update with Parkhurst and them. And then other than that, yeah, just be looking out for the emails. And yeah, that's all I have.
Great, thanks, Janelle. All right, so on to President's report. Quite a few things have been going on since we all have been off on break. So you've heard me mention multiple times the Student Government Association has put together an implicit bias and cultural competency training that we are requiring all organization presidents to complete in order to be eligible for any student government conference appropriations. And to help us support this initiative, the Center for Student Involvement also backed us by saying that if a student organization wishes to use any of the Center for Student Involvement's resources, such as being able to book a room or get any funding for the night spot or anything of those resources, they would also have to have completed this training that we're offering. So I am happy to announce that this training has been completely set up and is currently running. We have over 230 student organization presidents signed up and currently taking the training. About 2/3 of them have finished the first portion of the training, which is a complete online Blackboard module training that takes them through different implicit biases from race to gender, as well as doing a cultural competency video and journaling session in those modules online. But the second portion of this training, which now the presidents are starting to enter into now that we're all back for the spring semester, is called the Sacred Conversations on Race. And the presidents will be signing up for those conversations. Those are basically roundtable discussions, obviously on race, and identifying different cultural and implicit biases within those different conversations. They are peer-led, so hopefully that will help facilitate some more in-depth, good discussion rather than if it was just with a faculty or administrator. So once those wrapped up, hopefully end of February, beginning of March, all of the presidents should be good to go just in time for our conference appropriations. So I'm very happy with the way that that is running so far. And like some of the organization presidents do know, if they want to expand this training, they can more than welcome to share the training with their other executive board members or other members of their organization. We have had a few organizations take us up on that offer already, so that is phenomenal. We just hope to see that to continue to grow and continue to get more and more involvement. So moving on next, we have another exciting announcement. Over the winter break, we have made significant headway in the relocation of a few key offices on campus that are long overdue. So I am pleased to announce that the Office of Diversity and Inclusion, which is currently located on the first floor of the Student Union, the same floor as the Night Spot and off-ramp or City Works Incline. I don't know what it's called now. They change it every year on me. But the Office of Diversity and Inclusion will now be moving from the first floor up to the third floor. And they will actually be taking over the entire office suite space, which is currently the home to our Senate office, the old SGA Executive Board office, the Red and Blue Crew, the Strong Women, Strong Girls, I think yeah, that's it, in that little office space. So they'll be taking over that entire space. Walls are being knocked down. Construction just started, I think, this week. So if you are on campus and walk by the third floor, you'll be able to see that amazing feat start to undergo. And then our Senate office will temporarily be relocated to the source room, which is just across the hall, still on the third floor. For now, but eventually this Senate office will be getting relocated down to the first floor and actually taking over the space where the ODI office will be coming from. So just to kind of give you a forethought on that. But the second crucial office that will be moving is the Title IX office. Currently, it's located on the 3rd floor in quite a public area, which is uncomfortable and unfortunate for any students that actually need the Title IX office and the services that they provide. Not necessarily the most approachable office in the current location, which this office clearly needs to be able to do its work and do its work efficiently. So the Title IX office will be moving down to the 1st floor. If any of you are familiar with the computer lab down on the 1st floor, kind of off to the left-hand side behind the night spot, there is a few old offices back there that they'll actually be able to take over. So the Title IX will have a little bit more of a secluded area. They're going to have increased interview rooms that will be soundproof so that students don't have to worry about any confidential or anonymity issues whenever they have to report or use the office for their resources. So lots of moving offices happening in the union, but they are all long overdue, and I'm very excited to see all of the finished product, as I'm sure some of you are as well. And then my final thing to report is over the winter, the Student Government Executive Board decided to put together a new event. It's called Love is Love. And basically the event is going to focus on different types of love, different forms of love, and what does it mean to be loved and to love others. So this event is going to take place on February 8th through 13th, completely virtual, with Zoom and everything for COVID. But the first day is going to focus on Black love and what does it mean to be in an interracial marriage or interracial relationship. The second day is going to focus on the LGBTQIA plus community. What does it mean to be one of those individuals in the community? How to love within the different gender conforming and non-conforming tones of that community, and also providing an educational workshop for any allies to make sure that you're understanding how to be an ally for that specific community, and more importantly, the terminology. I feel like a lot of students don't know a lot of the terminology in that community, which when they are trying to be an ally, if you sometimes don't know the right word to say, it's uncomfortable and it's hard. So we're trying to help educate our community on those aspects and be able to be a more inclusive community in that regard. And then on Wednesday of that week is going to be all about the person self-love. And we are coordinating with the Center for Wellbeing. They'll be doing a self-love workshop. And then in the evening, we'll be offering different fun events that students can sign on to on different ways that they may relieve stress on their own. So we'll have Zumba classes, a yoga class, a nutrition class, all kinds of things. So be on the lookout for that. And then Thursday, we're partnering with the Title IX office to talk about being in good relationships versus bad relationships. What do those look like? And if you are in a bad relationship, we'll provide you with resources that you may need. And then finally, to capture out the week, we're going to have a variety show on Friday, and it's going to be basically an open mic that will allow students to sign up and come to express themselves and show how they express their love, how they love others, what it means to love them. Anything about love is really kind of the theme for the week, as you can see. And that'll all be taking place appropriately the week leading up to Valentine's Day. So that is the end of my long report. Sorry about that, but all very good and important details and information to keep you guys up to date on. So next we would have Adam for our advisor report, but he is unable to join us. He is with his family this evening, understandable. So just moving right along. Jess, do we have any new people?
Nope, just all the old beautiful faces.
Oh, great. Well, that's all right. So then we move on to our standing committee reports. First, communications with Ethan.
Thank you. An update on the major project from last semester. The diversity website was completed and was a huge success. In regard to this semester, though, I'll be sending out a Google form to see when most members are available for communications committee meetings this semester. And in addition to this, we hope to resume Center of the Week again. That's all. End of report.
Thank you. Next, we have organization oversight with Nathaniel. I think he's not here, right?
Yeah, he's excused. Let me see if he
Okay.
sent me anything, but I don't know that he did.
Okay.
Sorry, I totally
No
spaced on
worries. Do
this
you want me to
one.
circle back?
Yeah, that'd be great, actually.
Okay. Yep. No worries. So next we have finance with Zach, but I think
I actually
he's
have
all
that report too.
All
I have
right.
like everyone's reports today. So Zach just texted me. He's in quarantine right now. But he says he's excited for the semester. He'll be reaching out to his committee this week and hopefully they will be working on appropriations. So end of report for Zach.
Great. All right. Moving on to student life with Jamie and Dominic.
Hi, I'm not sure if Dominic is here, but I also don't have much to report. Obviously, we had our big event in the fall, so we'll be kind of, I guess, brainstorming as to what we can be doing this spring in terms of any event now that we kind of know how to do it. We have the tools to do it, so it'll be a lot easier this time if you plan on doing something. And yeah, I'll be reaching out about meeting times and everything within the next week. End report.
Thank you. Next, we'll have government operations with Aaron and Alexander.
Okay, I think I'm the only one on right now.
Hello.
Oh, hi, hi, Xander. So pretty much, it was brought up earlier in some of the earlier reports. We have to vote on some changes for the election packet real quick on the floor in open forum, and I will be sending out a doodle poll to determine the day of our meeting for the semester. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Anything else to add, Xander?
Nope, that's all.
Great. Thank you, guys. Next, we have Katie for our diversity, inclusion, and identity.
Hi, everybody. Nothing really to report on my end. I sent an email today about setting up our meeting time for this semester. So should have more to report at the next meeting.
Perfect. Thank you. Always is the running theme on our first meeting back, so no worries, everyone. So we move to our ad hoc committee reports, first with CTS and Tara.
I don't believe she's here. I have not heard anything from her, but I will reach out.
Okay, no worries. We still have no parking and transportation ad hoc chair, so if you're interested in that, let us know. But then we move on to career services with Delancey.
Also not here, have not heard from her. I will email her as well.
All right, sounds good. Then we move on to Parkhurst, which currently does not have a committee chair, but the committee did meet over the break. So I'm going to hand it back to Janelle, who kind of sponsored and took care of that meeting, and she'll fill us in on anything from that meeting.
Yeah, so basically, for Parkhurst and for food service committee, just in general, for those who don't really know exactly what that would entail, basically what that involves is we meet with members that represent Parkhurst and other areas related to food service here on campus. And they're really, really great to work with. We're able to provide insight and questions and suggestions to them, and they can reply back to us, with our questions or concerns that we may have, or they'll be able to, get ideas from us or share everything that's going on with them. And especially this year with COVID, they have to be really creative, as we all do, in this day and age. But so it is really exciting to work with them. In our past meeting, we discussed changes, different pop-up events that would be happening on campus. They talked about potentially doing a coffee one with coffee tree roasters. If you guys aren't freshmen, that's like another Starbucks type thing that we had on campus last year. So different things like that they know that some students may be missing, which due to COVID, they're going to try to help us out with that. So the just general suggestions that they were going to be making for the semester is what we discussed in the last meeting. And then switching over to parking and transportation real fast. As we don't have a chair for that, that responsibility has been kind of falling on me. And just to provide insight onto that, if you don't really know what that entails either, basically, the big part that I do for that is you work with different individuals from various organizations, and just again address concerns and questions that students may have. And then you also work with appeals if people get tickets on campus. So I mean, it's really not like a huge time commitment. And so I just really encourage you guys to take advantage of the opportunities of the committee, ad hoc committees that we still have open, because it is a great way to get involved and to kind of meet new people and kind of get more acclimated to the university. That's all I have regarding those two.
Thanks, Janelle. And moving on to well-being with Amalia.
Hi all. The only updates really that I have are just from like Janelle and Jess about collaborating with the Wellbeing Club, as well as there's a walk that is happening in April. It's called Out of the Darkness Virtual Campus Walk to fight suicide and promote well-being. So I'll be reaching out to Dr. Edwards and learning more about that and seeing how we can get involved.
Great, thank you. All right, so with that, we have no old business hanging over from the last semester. So moving on to new business. I did not receive any new bills specifically from any of our committees. So we will just go straight into open forum, which I believe there was mention by GovOps that we needed to talk about something for the election. So at this time, I'll go ahead and call on Erin Lechner to bring up what that may be.
Hi guys. Okay, so we just need to vote on new dates for the election packet. It was a little late getting out, and we do apologize. But we do want to give you guys ample time to collect signatures to petition to be on the ballot, be able to campaign for the election, and so everything got moved back a little bit. So the new dates we are proposing and are voting on, if this does move on to be a bill, would be that the election packets would be released tomorrow, Monday, January 25th. They would be due February 24th, giving you around a month to complete your signatures. And the elections themselves wouldn't happen until March 24th. Then other specific dates, the meeting with Dr. Frizzell is still to be decided. And then, sorry, I'm just trying to look where I have this. And then finances, reports from the candidates and or parties would be due on March 29th. And certification, so the official, okay, these are the true winners of the elections, would be on April 5th. And since this is open forum and it is not a bill that came out of GovOps, I would need a second on that motion.
I also quickly just typed down what you said, Erin, into the chat for everyone, so everyone can kind of have a visual hard copy reference of what it is we were just talking about and what we're going to be voting on with all of those specific dates that you mentioned. So like Erin said, since this didn't come out of committee, it does need a second senator to second this bill to be brought up to the floor for discussion and then voting. So if there's any senator that would like to do that, please feel free to do so at this time.
Quickly, just so everyone's like aware, when it's released, that will be off, like they'll send an email to the student body, I'm pretty sure, and then it's on Campus Link, right? For everyone who's not done this process before. Okay. Just want to make sure.
Correct. Correct. As of last Senate, anyone can run for any position in SGA. So senator, exec board member, we encourage people to run, and we are more than open to hearing about debate and having multiple choices in candidates.
So, long story short, if someone doesn't second this to get it to discussion and voting, there will be no election packet because we will not have a new release date.
I second.
Thank you. All right. So with the bill moved and seconded to the floor, we'll now have open discussion. Does anyone have any comments, questions, concerns about changing the election dates, the packet dates, any of the dates concerning the election? If you do, feel free to raise your hand or just shout out. Jess, go for it.
Hi. So I know a lot of our senators and even our senators at large, a lot of you guys are new. You haven't gone through the election process. These dates give you a lot more time to get it done. As someone who had to get like close to 300 signatures last year, just sitting around Hogan hoping people will sign, this gives you a lot more time to get signatures. And I think this timeline is a lot better because we're not having elections in the middle of the semester. And then there's like this weird lame duck period at the end of the spring where nothing's really getting done. So I definitely prefer this timeline to the old one. I'm not sure how everyone else feels about it, but I think this is like a better solution than what we had last year. So
Thanks, Jess. Also, just to take comment on the fact that because of COVID, all signatures will have to be collected electronically this year. So that extended timeline allowing you for more time to collect those electronic signatures will definitely come into play. I mean, you know, you've all been there. You've gotten the numerous emails in your email accounts throughout the first semester. It's going to happen again this semester. It's so easy for those emails to get lost and for students to just disregard them, forget about them. So you probably are going to need that extra time to really hound students in getting those signatures, especially if you're running for an executive board position where you may be required to get more signatures. Is there any other discussion? Okay, well, hearing none, seeing none, we will put these new dates and changes up for a vote. So at this time, if you would like to vote in favor of moving the election date and the election packet timeline, please use the raise hand function now. Okay, great. Thank you, everyone. You can go ahead and put your hands down. And then all of those opposed to changing the election packet deadlines, timeline, and all of that, please use the raise hand function now. Okay, thank you. Lowering those. And anyone who wishes or needs to abstain from this vote for any reason, please use the raise hand function at this time. Okay, noted. Thank you. So the ayes have it. These changes have passed and will go into effect immediately, considering the packet will be released tomorrow. So thank you, everyone, for getting that done. Is there any other discussions that anyone has for open forum? Yeah, Linda?
I just want to share a couple things. We usually go to the March for Life this week. It would actually be on the 29th of January. Obviously, it's not happening in person. So on campus, there are going to be some events, 8 o'clock Thursday night in the chapel. We're going to live stream the Mass. and prayers from the National Shrine in Washington, D.C. And then on Friday, the 12 o'clock mass, and then exposition, and then a rosary for life will be held after that. So if anybody's interested, there we'll probably be putting something on Campus Link to alert the campus community. That'll be out like tomorrow or Tuesday.
Thanks, Linda. Anyone else have any other announcements, discussions, anything they'd like to share? All right. Hearing none and seeing none, please take note of some of the important upcoming events we do have coming up here shortly. So as mentioned previously, we do have a virtual organization fair coming up on Tuesday, February 2nd, which is Groundhog's Day for anyone that would like to know. From 11 to 1 p.m., there will be a sign-up sheet going around for that. You will get some office hours for that, so please take advantage of that. The Love event that I was describing earlier during my report is happening February 8th through 13th. Currently, I'm not sure if we're going to need any volunteers or signups for that, since it is a huge collaboration with other departments, offices, and organizations. But if we would need some signups for that, I'll let you all know immediately. And please feel free to sign up for whatever is of interest to you. But at the very least, please feel free to attend the event, of course. And then finally, our next Senate meeting will be, as usual, 2 Sundays from now, which will be February 7th at 7 p.m. back here on Zoom. All right. So with that, I will ask for a motion to adjourn from a senator.
I motion to adjourn the meeting.
Great, thank you. Can I have a second?
I second.
Fantastic. This meeting is adjourned on Sunday, January 24th at 1939. Thank you all.